Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. So just want to get one thing out of the way. I said I probably would talk about Russia-Ukraine stuff, but I feel like I shouldn't. Not because I'm hiding anything, but I feel like it's just irrelevant to what's currently going on with the markets. Sure, there is stuff going on over there. And the reason I brought it up was because I saw a mass influx of just information on my timeline. Maybe I'm following the wrong accounts or something, but I'm just seeing a lot of stuff about it. So I thought maybe that deserves to have its whole stream if we don't get enough news to talk about this kind of stuff. But we do have a couple of news to talk about, and that will overtake what we will be... It'll take up too much time, right? So I decided not to cover any of it. All you gotta know is that there's still bombings happening, Russia, Ukraine. And, you know, still same narrative, I guess. We're looking to make some trade talks, but nothing has come up as of yet. My throat is really dry. All right. So we have continued dropping over here. 105,000 support lost. We are now on our way down to 102,000. A lot of people actually mentioned 103,000 was a good support, and I kind of see it. But I don't have any levels drawn as to why we should detain ourselves over here. Unless we're using like maybe a Fibonacci level. Can I hide this? I don't want to delete it, but I think I might have to. We're officially in a downtrend anyway. Like super trend has already flipped bearish for Bitcoin. So you best believe every other altcoin is also now in a bearish trend. I'm going to go from low point to high point Fibonacci to see where we are headed. Can I please extend this? I want to see the exact point and exact bottom point. I don't think I got it. Which one was lower first time? Let's go here. And lock it. I just deleted it. I'm so dumb. Alright, lock it in place. There we go. I do see that. 103. Yeah, so it was from a Fibonacci level, it seems like. I'm still looking at 102. I don't know. I mean, sorry. Yeah, 102, right? 103, 102. Maybe we slow down just in this general zone. I could see maybe that happening. And then otherwise, of course, we have the 100k support. Most important psychological level. It's 100,000. Like, come on. And then below that, of course, is the 97,000. That was kind of where we were expecting things to drop when we first initially crossed 100,000, because we were like, okay, cool. We just broke that barrier of 100,000 once again. That happened back in 8th of May. And we were expecting us to, you know, reaccumulate because we saw this kind of drop over here happen. And we're like, okay, seems like we're going to have to reaccumulate at 97,000 zone over here. But no, that didn't happen. It was just a bit of choppiness, but it actually broke out higher and made a new all-time high, which ended up being about 112,000. We do know 112,000 will be our most important level. This was our previous all-time high, which it's still able to use as a resistance, 110,000. So we'll keep that line drawn there. I know it's not exactly our all-time high, but anymore, right? But it was at some point, so that's why it's still important and relevant, in my opinion. Now super trend has flipped bearish. Our resistance is looking at 110,000, I'm assuming. This should drop to our all-time high levels, so in order for us to confirm an uptrend once again, it's going to take a lot of work, which is so painful, but yeah, that's necessary, a breakout of those levels. And I think this might be the start of something, maybe temporary, we'll call it like a week. I mean, why are we really panicking, honestly, at this point? Bitcoin is still above 100,000. We're still at 104,000 is the current price of it. It's down 1% while everything else drops like 7% for no reason. So that's just altcoins, right? They tend to be more volatile. Something normal that we have to get used to. So yeah, that's my vision for now, is a drop down definitely to this level. Good area for possible accumulation, and we should absolutely be oversold right over here as long as we stay above 100,000. I personally will not be buying over here. Altcoins are a good option to buy because they've gone down a lot more, and alt season obviously has not happened yet, so those are a good chance to get them. But for Bitcoin, I really don't want to buy it above 100,000. Worst case scenario, if I'm really if I really FOMO in, I guess I would consider this area right over here. But other than that, no, not necessarily. Because even over here, you can see like this area would have been good for accumulating a couple times, right? Before obviously we inevitably bounced with this uptrend over here. Now this uptrend is broken. We have now formed a new downtrend. And this is kind of what we're looking at for now. It seems easy to break, right? In my opinion. It's going to take a while, maybe a week, like I said, or two. I'm expecting just 1 week of choppiness and staying below this level. So my main hopes is we do stay above 100,000. I don't see us dropping below it, honestly. Like, the fundamentals are not as strong to make Bitcoin drop that far below. Reason we are dropping, just a quick TLDR, yes, it is because of fear of the tariff stuff that is going on. Now that Trump's appealed that little case where they tried to block his tariffs, which markets kind of celebrated at first, but then we realized, okay, well, wait, Trump is actually going to lay down a heavier hand and do something that will upset the market. And ultimately, here it is. And I'll go into more detail about it once we get to our news section. So that's what we got for Bitcoin. Still not oversold yet. I put some money in here finally, about $2,000. I still didn't fully figure out the accounting thing, but it's whatever, honestly. A couple dollars, I don't mind. And the reason I'm putting this money here is to trade live eventually. So we shall see in what we enter. Today seems like a decent day. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying a lot all the time. If you're curious about like the... Oh, what the heck is this? Second clearest path for Ethereum staking ETF. What? Okay, that is news. Oh, it's because I clicked on Ethereum we're getting this. Okay, well, there you go. It tells you some news about Ethereum, I guess. Although, the staking ETF thing, is that actually happening yet? I really don't think so. It tells you also support levels. Why should I even stream if this does the technical analysis for me? AI will take over my job. This is not even a job, but you get the point. It does have support resistance. I just saw it. Current support is 2,500. Can I see the price? 2,500. Yeah, that's kind of where I have my pivot level, right? And it also would match with what we have below over here. Okay, I'm trying to like make this drawn perfectly. You get this point, right? Around over here is where we have support, which we currently could break. Ethereum, though, is actually surprisingly stronger than the rest of the coins. It's one of the only coins that has not flipped bearish, and it's super trend. And that invalidation zone is still at 2,425 approximately. And we're currently on our way down there, about a 3% drop more, and we should be seeing those levels. Either way, if we do break it, we still got these two uptrends over here that'll help us continue forward. And also, there was a bit of a buffer going on over here with Ethereum rising because of that Meta news. Meta may be launching stablecoins on Ethereum was the news. So, you know, for Ethereum to drop, it had to take out the impact of that news first. It had to tackle it, and then, you know, continue dropping with the rest of the market, which, like I said, we had a bit of that momentum to the upside first. So now with this drop, you know, it's basically right where we started, as if nothing happened. That's why Ethereum appears to be stronger than the rest of the other tokens for now. Yeah, that's what we got for Ethereum. Down 3%, 2,510 is the current price. Solana, 155.55, and it is on its way down as well. 4.75%. Uptrend, confirmed broken. Downtrend, confirmed. Yeah, confirmed. From these 2 points, I guess we could draw our little new downtrend that has now been formed. We've broken already the support at 157. We're currently on our way down to 144. I could see maybe a resistance at this current area, right? At 154, 155 approximately. I don't know if you guys can appreciate this, but it's kind of why I could explain why we're kind of slowing down. Kinda. I keep saying kinda. But after this, like I said, on our way down, we could see some entries at 144, 142. A slowdown, which would be a good area for entry is what I'm trying to say. Maybe. Unless... I should get rid of this. Because those were determining our resistance levels, which... this didn't really work that well, to be honest. How do I redo? I guess I can't redo. All right, cool. So now we can draw a Fibonacci level to see where we can slow down this drop. Right now, okay, this explains one of the levels, 152. And then the next one, yeah, it's technically around the same area, using this area as like a support. We could see that. Around 142, we could say. Would be a good opportunity for DCA. We are currently oversold on Solana, though. So, yeah, that's why I was a bit questioning, like, why are we slowing down over here? It seems like the downward pressure is kind of over. Maybe we see a bounce up. Resistance would be 165. Yeah, that's what you get for Solana here. As of right now, would I enter a very small position? Sure, maybe. Matter of fact, I might even do it here. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I want to look at the other coins as well to see how things could work out. Because, I mean, 155 Solana, that's not too bad, considering we were at 187, 170 approximately for a long time. Yeah, we've been lateralized over here. Is this a McDonald's thing? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Is this a signal? I don't have a highlighter. Why are you lying? Oh, there we go. The McDonald's pattern, it's there. It's time to go back to work to McDonald's. Pretty funny. Why isn't it deleting? How do I delete it? There we go. Alright, yeah, that's what we got for Solana. Moving on to XRP. It was one of the first to already flip bearish, and it is on its way down right now. Breaking support at 212, which I mentioned we could reach yesterday. Was this candle the candle that I showed? 29th of May? Yes, it was. So we saw this candle right over here, which hit the support right over here, and we were bouncing on our way back up over here. I mentioned that this would likely be filled up once again, this little, I wouldn't call it a gap, but you know, this wick that we had over here. And ultimately, that's what happened. We're still on our way down, and we're headed towards our $2 psychological level. I personally do have a trigger order ready there in case price does drop. These levels no longer valid to look at. We now need to see where can we slow down our drop. That's looking like... Wait, am I drawing this right? I hope I am. So first level, of course, is where we are exactly, and then the next level is $2.01. You could consider an entry there, possibly for XRP. Small amounts limit orders, probably what I would do. These levels also coincide at 185, 184, 183. Although it would be devastating to see XRP below $2. Meanwhile, SUI is still celebrating above $3. I say celebrating, but it, you know. And we also landed right over here. This is also a level that I mentioned we could reach because I said I don't care if we break this, invalidate this uptrend, right? It was technically invalidated a while back, right? Once the uptrend that formed from this line over here got broken. But that was also given to a lot of great fundamentals with SUI, causing it to have a large rise, of course, compared to XRP. SUI managed to reach a high of 429. And right now it's on its way down. We're currently at $3.12. Low point, it just reached $3.10. And we are slowing down at the support level at $3.11, of course. Which coincides with this uptrend, which it seems like we are breaking. I'm hoping it doesn't like fully break. We close back above it so that we can just simply readjust it. But for the time being, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. We could probably stay choppy around this area. Hopefully, like, if we do keep this as a good support, we can stay higher and just readjust the uptrend. Because this downtrend, it's a sharp one. If you really do want to play it safe, you would enter. Like, you could let SUI drop as far down as you want it to. Let me make a brush. Like, this could ultimately, like, just keep dropping, right? Maybe up to the support level. Once it does come back, though, like, I don't know, maybe we stay lateralized for a while, but once we do break this uptrend over here, because super trend should ideally, like, follow this downtrend, right? And then once we do break it, super trend will flip bullish once again, and the price will start heading higher. This is the area that you can start considering an entry. But by that time, I mean, it's practically the same as entering in the limit order. That's why I don't really make this play, but that's the idea that I have behind it, because I just want to get into it a bit earlier, which is probably still a bit riskier and dumb of me to do. But that's just my thought process. Great. Everything disappeared. How do I get it back? Please let me get it back. Just change prices or something. I don't know why it's being weird like that. Delete those because I don't need them. There we go. So we're currently slowing down at this level, but we can continue dropping ultimately, and I still think that we will. Like, this wouldn't surprise me. 295 is our next level, and then I dropped to 258, I think is way too harsh. I think that's way too harsh. We should definitely be slowing down. We are oversold right now. Even right now, I'd say Sui's still at a good point for entry, because this is a solid support resistance previously, right? Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good for entries, I would say. Obviously, it's not. Its price action is not looking good. I don't know. Even if it does continue dropping, like the potential for increase can be much higher. I don't know how greedy I want to be with it. Like a 34% pump and we're back to our highs again. Obviously, our all-time high was much above over here, 537. So that's still a long way to go, nonetheless, if you're aiming for that. But if you really want like the best price, you could wait for another 5% drop. Or a 17% drop, I guess, the worst case scenario. I don't think that's going to happen, though. That's something devastating has got to happen. And we're walking into the weekend here where it's going to be low volatility. So what I'm expecting for Sui and the whole rest of the market is just a price decay over time, right? Especially because tomorrow will be a Saturday. Not much will happen. It's going to be very uneventful. So yeah, that's you know, we could decay to around this zone. This zone I would consider maybe entering. I think I might have already entered on my main over here. I have a lot of stuff. Is it forced liquidation? Oh, a lot of orders filled. I bought H-bar apparently. That's crazy. What price is H-bar? Hedera. It's not a coin that I really analyze too often or really like even. Why are we looking at USDC? What are you? Cringe. We do USDT up in this. We're hitting our support. That's probably why I entered it. I'm trying to reason why I entered. Yeah, that's absolutely why. And also, and I'm ashamed to admit it, I purchased H-bar like somewhere above like 30 cents or something, like way up here. So of course I gotta average that out. We need a 100% increase in the price, which that's gonna be painful. So we shall see. Moving on, Litecoin. I drew all this for a reason, don't worry. We're still fanning out toward the downside, and this is the current downtrend that is to be paid attention to, right? Man, we're heading lower. 83 was our lowest point. Current price is 84 for Litecoin. It's down 7.92%, almost 8%. It's about to hit 8%. We're absolutely oversold. A lot of these are oversold. Would be good entry conditions for most of them. Matter of fact, I think I will enter some. I will enter some. I will. And I'll be risky with it, you know? Why are we 1x? Come on. What are you scared? Go with the 3x. We are at current low points as well. Don't do what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna straight up just enter. How much would I want to risk? I have a $2,000 account. I'll go with $20, 1% risk on each asset. And what I like about this is the reason why I'm using perpetual futures here. You know what? Also, like, I wanted to use TradingView. That's the reason why I did all this, right? I've reorganized everything. It looks very beautiful. Oh, I also promised myself I'd only trade these 4 assets. Do I really want Ethereum, though? Like, really? I'd probably go for Litecoin. This is tough. Like, if you ask me to pick a top 4, Bitcoin, Solana, Sui for sure. What is my 4th coin? Yeah. I don't like XRP. I don't like Cardano much. They're good projects. They have, you know, a limited market supply, right? It's not inflationary is what I'm trying to say. Solana and Sui are inflationary. Ethereum is also. So it's a bit difficult to pick. That's another reason why I do like Litecoin though. So I might consider putting that. And these will be getting ETFs, right? Bitcoin already has one, Ethereum already has one, and Ethereum is a flop with its ETFs. We need the staking to be approved, and when will that get approved? Litecoin, it had a high chance of getting a next ETF approved, so that's why I would consider maybe Litecoin. Matter of fact, I will just simply add LTCUSDT dot P. I have to enable. What are you doing? What? Okay, it just closed out of everything. BingX LTC would be this one, because this one's USDC, this one's USDT. You got to pay attention to those. And nobody uses USDC in 2025 because they can freeze your assets. So there we go. Digital gold, digital silver, Solana, and Sui. Best play, honestly, if I had to pick a top 4. If you're looking at this Forex stuff, I'm just testing stuff out. I'm not actually like full on trading it yet. Commodities, similar deal. My favorite commodities, gold, silver, oil, and gas, of course. And volatility index, just to see how the market's doing. Currently, we're chilling out a little bit. Volatility index, if you do want to enter. What, a 26% drop, I guess. Yeah, you would want to enter around this zone, $12 to $15. Great moments for entry, because when this thing spikes up, it spikes up real good. And obviously, when this spikes up, the whole markets are dropping. So when this goes up, you sell, you make profit, and you use that profit to buy the market that has crashed, right? It's the whole point of the volatility index, at least in a smart way to view it. Litecoin is at its oversold level, as I mentioned, so I want to test out how to do this. 0.1, is that right? Quantity. Am I buying 0.1 Litecoins? Is that what this means? I don't want to do that. Okay, how do I like actually enter a trade here? Buy Litecoin with a stop. Wait, what? Stop. No, that's not what I want. Alright, I'm just going to click the buy button and see what happens. Although, okay, 0.1. We're in 0.01. Okay, it has to be minimum 0.1. Alright, fair enough. If I press this, what happens? It actually just bought one Litecoin. Okay. Well, 10 cents of a Litecoin, which is... I can't do math. 0.1. Oh, it was $8. Okay, that's not too bad. But how much leverage did it use? Can I check over here? Oh, it had the 3x leverage already put. Set. Hey, that's not too bad. I was originally planning to do 20. But still this is not what I want. I wish I could like put in something by notional, not notional value, but the cost value instead. And I'm obviously already paying fees for this, so I'm not going to touch it. You're going to pay a fee for opening and closing a trade in perpetual futures. It's another reason why I dislike it compared to standard. So whatever. We'll keep it that way though. I just wanted to see how this would work on TradingView. I guess that's how it works, and I ultimately dislike this. I don't like this at all. Don't want to reverse the position. Whatever. We'll just keep that purchase there, I guess. Okay, whatever. It costs me to learn. Never using TradingView again. Cardano, let's see. Down 4.51% today. SEC delays ETF, apparently. That's a lame excuse. No, it is the real reason, though. They delayed Cardano and Avalanche ETFs. That is real news. And look exactly where we slowed down. 67 cents. This is not what we're supposed to be looking at anymore. I have to change the Fibonacci levels on most of these altcoins. Because now that we've topped out at some area, we're now looking for reversals. Which, sure, 87 was the level that I had drawn before. This one's already here. Served as its support, but thank you for your service. You are now broken, and we're heading lower. We're not fully becoming oversold yet. Maybe around 63, 64. Could be a good entry price consideration. Why are we doing 2x here? Apply to all pairs. I could do that. Apply to all pairs. Wait, what? Confirm to adjust leverage across USDT margin futures. The adjustment will only apply to trades without open positions or pending orders. Trading pairs with open positions won't be affected. Leverage will apply to both long and short directions. In the case of your set, yeah, okay, that's what I want. Confirm. Good. I maximum use 3x leverage, honestly. I feel like it's the safest, even though you still can get liquidated, but like once in a blue moon. And it just triplicates, triplets. It 3x's your volatility, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Yeah, and also in terms of a downtrend, yeah, this is what we got. If you really want to find a safe entry for Cardano, wait until this downtrend breaks. Right over here. That way Cardano can do its little own thing. Like it could drop further. It could, I don't know, come back up over here or something. Once this gets broken, that is where you enter. Ideally. Oh my god, it did it again, huh? Seems like it doesn't want to delete. Okay, stop that. Doesn't want to delete the drawings that I make. It's fine. And this is the kind of mentality you should have for most of these, right? Because you don't know where exactly they will drop. But for people who are, you know, who want to play it risky, they want to get the absolute best price based on support levels that you can see. You know, you can do it based off that kind of intuition that I showed you. But if you really want to play it safe, you don't know where exactly it's going to drop, you can just wait until we break this downtrend. One of the downtrends, at least, is to make things safe. Even you can, people more extreme would make another downtrend connecting to this line. I wouldn't do that. Because things can still drop, right? We can make a quick recovery, but then continue dropping. So, downtrend confirmed for now. I don't know. I'm going to play it safe. We still have this week to worry about. I think next week was just going to be low volatility and still within the downtrend. After next week, though, we will start continuing to rise. Hopefully so. I spent 26 minutes on technical analysis. That is insane. What else was it going to enter? Sui, right? It was. And I said it was going to enter over here. I'm going to put a limit order. 2.9559. 20 bucks. Really? 20 bucks? Let me just think about this for a minute. How about we do 50s? Let's do 50s. Who cares if $50 gets, I was going to say leveraged. Liquidated. Right? Right? Yeah. Let's do it. Long. Right over there. Perfect. And what is going on here? I really want to close this position because I'm upset about it. I could just open another long position if it continues to go against me. Right? This is only $8. Why am I stressing? It's fine. Solana, what are we doing here? Still on our way down, like I said. Yeah, I find it hard for Solana to continue dropping. But if it does, this would be the zone to look out for. You know what? I'm even going to play it like ultra safe. This is the correct Fibonacci, right? Yes. What I'm going to do... Calculator. 141,387 plus... What is this amount? 144,164 is this. Divided by 2. That's the entry price I will put. They're also dropping 50. So like right in between these two, because I tell you guys, right, oh, this zone would be a good area to buy. You don't know specifically where it's going to land. I'm just going to put it in the middle there. Am I doing this right? My cost price, right? Orders. Average price. What does this mean? Like, what is my margin? Why is this so complicated to read or understand? Okay, I don't want to touch that. Oh, yeah, that's good as well. Is this just... Oh, that's confusing. I actually put 142,775. And apparently that's the exact amount that will be filled. Why? Why, though? Am I crazy? Am I blind? This is the price versus the amount of USDT I'm putting in. Okay, well, I guess that is correct. The fees are crazy, though, honestly. I dislike that. All right. Don't I have bonus position as well? Yeah. I have a $2 bonus position. 5x. Bitcoin. Let's go short. Minimum size for opening. Really? I can't even buy Bitcoin? That is just wild work. What is this one? 15 USDT. Right, I guess I'll do 15 USDT on Bitcoin. And a short over here? Really? Like, come on. Saturday is going to be low volatility, though. This is a terrible time to enter, honestly. Oh my gosh. Whatever, I'm not going to touch bonus until later. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's get to the news. Why market drop? This why. No, this is not why. President Trump tells Jerome Powell in person that the Fed is making a mistake on interest rates. I discussed yesterday that Jerome Powell spoke with Donald Trump for the first time since his election presidency at the White House. I'm assuming to discuss tariff stuff. I tried looking it up on Grok yesterday and apparently nothing came of it. I'm still expecting that to be the same case. They met, of course he criticized it, compared nations like China and every other nation has reduced their interest rates, to be fair. And then Trump is like, why are you not reducing interest rates? You're playing politics, right? You're just doing this to make me look bad. But no, he genuinely wants to wait and see how economic data plays out, which we got today. We got PCE data that I will read soon. He's emphasizing his decisions based on objective economic data, not political influence. Yep, that's really all it says. Okay, I want to check what happened with the data. I know it came in line with expectations. Yeah, literally nothing much changed, right? Core PC Price Index, which excludes volatile and energy prices. It is the Federal Reserve's chosen gauge of underlying inflation in the U.S. economy. It went up 0.1% from the previous month. This is inflation. The result was in line with market expectations. We were expecting that. From the previous year, the index rose that much. It doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, really nothing much came of it. It all came in line with expectations. That's ultimately what you got to know. What we should really care about, though, is non-farm payroll and unemployment rate, which will be coming next week, Friday. We shall see how that plays out. Now, this is what's been going on kind of in the background. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the trade talks with China have stalled. He believes more talks will happen over the next few weeks, which explains the recent escalations with China. I read you guys before a lot of new stuff that was imposed on China, especially in terms of like international students and things like that, visas. And yeah, literally this. He got mad at that taco question, so now he's trying to show he's tough. He's now doubling down on, not doubling down, but you know, laying a heavier fist, whatever you want to use the expression for that, on China. And he posted this on Truth Social as well. He's saying that, you know, the U.S. trade with China deal has fallen through, so there could be volatility in the markets, and of course toward the downside, because that just means more tariffs. Trump says that 2 weeks ago, China was in grave economic danger. The very high tariffs I set made it virtually impossible for China to trade into the United States marketplace, which is by far the #1 in the world. This is a fact. We went, in effect, cold turkey with China, and it was devastating for them. Many factories closed, and there was, to put it mildly, civil unrest. Trump saw what was happening and didn't like it for them, not for us, so he made a fast deal with China. This happened in Geneva, Switzerland, in order to save them from what he thought was going to be a very bad situation, and he didn't want to see that happen. Because of this deal, everything quickly stabilized, and China got back to business as usual. Everybody was happy, which is the good news. The bad news... That's why we rise, by the way, in the markets, where we made an all-time high because of this stuff. The bad news now, though, is that China, perhaps not surprisingly to some, has totally violated its agreement with us. So much for being Mr. Nice Guy. I don't know specifically what he's referring to with this violation of the agreement. But it's happening nonetheless, right? And in lieu of this, this is what I mean by doubling down. Next week, the White House has announced they will raise the tariffs on steel from 25% to 50% beginning next week to protect the U.S. steel industry from foreign influence and unfair competition. America first is what they say. So that is not good. And of course, if you remember this, I covered this a long while ago. I don't remember if I did. No, this is, yeah, it was February 9. When the tariff was announced at the first time, President Trump was going to announce 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. This was back in February. We had a huge crash in Ethereum, practically where we are right now, right? Ethereum 2,600, literally the day before, and it drops all the way down to 2,000, less than 400, and there this meme was born. Is Ethereum made of aluminum? Because it literally doesn't make sense for something like, I don't know, not just Ethereum, of course, it's just a dig at Ethereum, but every cryptocurrency is dropping, right? Because of steel tariffs, aluminum, like really, like it has literally nothing to do with it. But it's dropping, so there you go. Is Ethereum made of aluminum? But this is all planned, don't worry. Look at the bigger picture, look at M2 money supply, everything's still gonna go up, don't worry. Bitcoin is still holding its weekly support. Weekly and daily candle charts are shown. Ideally, according to Colin Talks Crypto, Bitcoin would hold 104,500. Otherwise, a little bit longer of a correction may be in store. Could be weeks versus days. I just think one more week of low choppiness for Bitcoin. That's me personally, what I'm expecting. Overall, it's still supposed to be bullish, long-term direction, and trend anticipated to be up. And if you're wondering what is the correct M2 money supply offset to be following, it's likely 87 days seems to be the one that currently matches the best. Between 70 and 100 day offset, he's found that the 87-day offset currently provides the best average correlation over all the time frames, right? I agree with it. 87 days. And I mean, it's literally what we're seeing right now. The dip, it perfectly follows the global liquidity. Perfect. So, nothing to be afraid of. Just look at the bigger picture. Speaking of China. A state-backed Chinese think tank, whatever that means, says that Bitcoin deserves continued attention as a reserve asset amid growing concerns about US dollar dominance. Does this mean that China buy Bitcoin as reserve? Maybe. That could be cool. Obviously, it's going to happen eventually. They're not going to let the United States get away with it. They're going to do it. We already saw Pakistan just announce that yesterday, day before yesterday, at the Bitcoin conference. And it's not just governments. I always mention this. It's usually institutions as well. It's companies. And it's also sports teams. French football team Paris Saint-Germain, whatever, announces Bitcoin Treasury Reserve. They're getting in on it. I don't know why. El Salvador will open a Bitcoin embassy in Panama. And even XRP also. Well, they're going to be using XRP for this. Reports suggesting that the Saudi Aramco, the world's largest oil company, will be tokenizing oil on the XRP ledger. Wait, it appears to be unfounded. Okay, so it's not real. Okay, never mind. I thought it was real. Okay, I fell for it. I'll admit it. I'm wrong. This would be a cool concept, though. You could tokenize the price of oil using XRP's blockchain. I mean, that's what RWA is, what it was meant to be, right? That, of course, means reliability, 24/7 trading, stuff like that. And a lot more acceptance, regulation, and in more places, right? Also a lot of leverage, maybe. I don't know. This is also a big news. The Securities Exchange Commission has dropped their lawsuit against Binance. The SEC fully dismissed its charges against Binance. This outcome confirms what we have always known, that Binance did not violate U.S. securities laws. And this is CZ literally just memeing on Gary Gensler, like putting him in a clown nose, saying that crypto is still here, pal. We beat you. Kind of deal. I was going to show something else, I think. Binance thanks Trump and Paul Atkins after dropping the lawsuit. I haven't checked, but did Binance move at all because of this, or did it just drop with the rest of the market? It seems like it dropped with the rest of the market. This is supposed to be bullish news, but whatever. I guess tariffs are more important, which doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. Oh, look, there's Teresa Goody Guillen, remember? She was supposed to be one of the candidates for Securities Exchange Commission chair, replacing Gary Gensler, who is pro crypto and Bitcoin, right? But she didn't get the spot, unfortunately. But yeah, there we go. Congrats, I guess, to Binance. And they're obviously like allowing their USD services effective immediately. Everybody can deposit USD and buy crypto using bank transfers, which was previously restricted because of this kind of stuff, right? The ongoing lawsuit. This was the Cardano news that I was talking about. The Security Exchange Commission, they're doing weird stuff. They're delaying their decision on Grayscale spot ETFs for Avalanche and Cardano. The new review date is July 15. Wait continues. As is everything else. I think a lot of stuff is set for July 15, or maybe it was June 15. I don't know how much they're delaying this stuff, but yeah. Why is ETFs trending? I'm concerned. Yeah, ETFs. Rex Shares files an executive prospectus for Solana and Ethereum ETFs to list in the United States. Yeah, we're getting all this. Eventually. Yeah, the rest is just other stuff. $9 billion in 5 weeks, while gold funds see $2 billion in outflows. Look at that. Bitcoin is doing better than gold for ETFs. Anyways, back to normal stuff. Altcoin here. Ondo Finance will tokenize U.S. stocks and ETFs from NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange, which would allow customers to trade 24/7. Each token will have a 1-to-1 backing with the underlying asset, and the initiative reduces also fees and global access to U.S. securities. This is why this is a great solution for crypto, right? And this one had to do with Ondo, so there you go. Ondo doing great. Good stuff overall. You know who else? Kraken will also be bringing stock trading to blockchain. Likely with Solana, I'm pretty sure. So Solana will also be getting involved in this action. This is old news, but Solana was gaining amid the Solana Accelerate conference in New York City. I didn't even know this existed. May 22nd to May 23rd. The ecosystem market cap rose 3%. Trading volume dropped. Kraken will set to bring U.S. stock trading to Solana blockchain for non-U.S. citizens. That's pretty good. This is like revolutionary, right? There's always these talks about, oh, the, New York Stock Exchange will start doing 24-hour trading or 11-hour day trading instead of the original, 9:30 to 4 p.m. So this really just revolutionizes that idea, I guess. Jupiter unveils new lending protocol collaboration with Fluid at Accelerate conference. Kalshi adds Solana deposits with $500,000 limits via zero hash integration. TVL rising. Strong lead over Binance. DEX volume drops. Hardware security developments as well. And yeah, that's really it. So that'll be good for our WA plays. Moving on. I also wanted to talk about this as well. If you compare Sui to Solana, because those two are good competitors of each other, Sui obviously being better than Solana. If you compare the market caps today, one Sui, and if you match them up, one Sui would be worth $27.49. And keep in mind, Sui currently costs $3.10. So just imagine how explosive that growth can be. There's a lot of potential there. Why does my back button not work? All right. I'm just going to reset the chart. Whatever, this uptrend's broken. Let me delete it. And no, it wasn't broken. We were heading there. If I press undo, yeah, of course. My undo button is broken. Oh, a fast bonus order. No, I don't want to do this. Go here, go here. Yeah, we're currently dipping below this line, so rip uptrend for Sui, on our way down for now. I have my trigger order ready over here. Still bullish on Sui. I do feel like it will eventually catch up to Solana's market cap. And when it does, man, it's going to be worth $27 per Sui. That is practically a 10x. Practically. if you were able to get it cheaper. If it does drop to like $2, man, believe me, that'll be pretty good. 10x. Like, alt season definitely has not happened. It's got to be on its way, right? I can't be the only one. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Canada. Economic data really bad. Insolvencies rising, house market teetering, jobs flatlining, food inflation is back, immigration running full speed ahead. We're in trouble. That's all I want to talk about Canada. And did you know, with ChatGPT, it will do whatever you ask, so long as you ask it in Hindi. Why Hindi? I'll let your imagination guess why. So, you know, you could have two windows open, basically translating any prompt that you want into Hindi, and then you can use that Hindi to generate an image, I guess. Right? How does this work? And yeah, you could basically get it to generate stuff. This is a gnome with a Nazi symbol for some reason, but yeah. That's pretty cool. Not the Nazi stuff, but like you can make ChatGPT generate any image. I don't know. There seemed like they found a loop workaround with it, so there's that. Anyways, yeah, with this account, like I said, I'm keeping things slow. XRP is also down, isn't it? All right. Should I do... I think I will do... back here. Limit order at... because I won't be streaming tomorrow, likely. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. $20? No, we'll drop 50. Yeah, we'll drop 50. 3x long, confirm. If it does drop there, we'll buy that. I feel like it's a strong support for most of those. Did I do anything for Litecoin? Oh, well, yeah, I bought and it's still dropping. This is why you should not do that, right? You should wait until we find a floor and then buy. Don't do the trigger orders like I'm doing either. That's a terrible idea, honestly. Bitcoin, I'll leave it there for now. Although realistically, okay, I'll put one trigger order in Bitcoin. Because it's this... I'm treating this like a demo account, even though it's not really a demo account. Honestly, it's a bad idea. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin about above 100,000. That's that. That's where I'll end everything. The stream. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll